वेगं शतचन्द्रवर्मविश् चरन्तमच्छिद्रम् उपार्यतो हरिः कृत्वाकहासं खरमुत्स्वनोल्बनं निमीलिताक्षं च गृहे महाजः विश्वक्स्फुरन्तं ग्रहणातुरं हरेर्व्यालो यथा कुम्भुलिशाक्षतवचम् द्वार्यूरुम्मापत्य ददारलीलया नाखैर्यथा हिं गरुडो महाविश्वम्.
Most young people hung out in pubs and bars and clubs and kind of lived on the darker side of life, I guess we could say.
I was taking intoxication quite a lot. So.
I mean, I come from a background where a drinking culture, so from a very young age I was drinking.
I was kind of just a normal teenager going to parties and drinking and all these things.
Getting involved in a lot of bad habits and a lot of bad association in my early days.
And you just felt, you know, that's going out drinking and nightclubbing with your friends, this is what it was all about, but you just felt really bad after hanging out.
He had some very bad association and he had developed some habits that were not helpful to him, both in his health and in his...
It wasn't very fulfilling or very appealing.
So frustrating the world around me. I felt like everyone was aiming towards this goal in life, but it didn't really seem to satisfy.
I was quite confused about what was the right direction.
I was quite disturbed and people were always angry.
My friends also, we kind of felt quite depressed and kind of hopeless about life. We didn't quite know what we were going to end up doing. Or
I used to kind of face my fears and my emotions and try and understand them and try and become a better person.
It's not a nice place to be. It's kind of a scary place. You know, to be in darkness isn't a nice thing.
My dear Lord Nrsingadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet.
And everyone's so happy and you know, people just come up and they really want the books and they ask for the books and they say, you know, we're really glad that you're here, and you know, it's really encouraging to see that, you know, actually people are really hungry for the books and they do want the books. It's not that we are, you know, kind of forcing them to take it. They're coming up to the table and taking the books. So that's why.
What will happen to me if I read that book?
Your life will change. You'll never be the same again.
How's my...
I understood why I was confused. I understood why I was depressed sometimes.
All of a sudden I felt like a light had been switched on somewhere inside my heart. I just felt like now things start to make sense, and it became a lot clearer what life was about and its purpose and where it should be going and how one should live their life.
When people receive these books, when they actually read it, it changes the way you see the world.
I pretty much gave up drinking overnight and smoking cannabis overnight.
I'm actually so proud of what I'm doing and stuff, and like I'm not going down the same path.
I'm living a much more wholesome life. I'm giving a lot more to my friends, to my family, to society. I'm much more of a productive part of society rather than someone who would be in the shadows much more.
I just didn't want to put the book down. I was like trying to cook the dinner, and the kids shouting at me, going, "Well, Mum, Mum, Mum." I was going, "Wait, like this."
That my father got led me here so many years later, and is allowing me now to render service to Radha Ishvara and their devotees. So I'm very grateful for that devotee who gave my father that one book.
It develops in such a nice way that people like to be around you. People like to know what you're doing. People like to know how this change took place. And it's amazing that these books are available to everyone, and anyone can take advantage of it. All it takes is you take a book and you read it, and then you have the tools by which to really do something with your life, something of value.
By going out on the street and distributing books and trying to, or not necessarily just going out on the street, giving this wisdom that has helped me so much in my life. I'm trying to cultivate a mood of compassion.
So he gave me the books, and straight away I looked at them. I noticed the different symbols on them. They had pictures of Vishnu with like an atom circling around him. I thought, this is really interesting. It's a picture of the science of self-realization on the cover. I thought, this is really interesting.
I would say that he saved my life, and after doing this service for last 1 month intensely on the street every day during this December month, I would say for sure that it changed lives of many people of different backgrounds, of people from all over the world. All those who come to London, they share their stories, and it's absolutely...
She said, yeah, just as I came outside Topshop, the department store, I slipped on the wet ground, and I fell down, I bumped my hip, and she nearly hit her head. She said, but nobody stopped to pick her up or ask her how she was. And she was sobbing. She said, no one stopped. She said, no one stopped and asked me. And she just became completely, shaking and hysterical, and she just walked off. And I just felt like, these people need so much love.
The thing would be that many of those I talked to, they had got a book either a year ago or some time ago, and almost all of them have some kind of miracle stories. I don't know if you believe in coincidence or accidents, whatever you call it, but they would share how lives naturally
took the books, and she came with me to the temple, and then she walked all the way down the road. She told me she had ovarian cancer, and this is her second spell of chemotherapy. And she said, I asked her, is it fatal? And she said, well, yeah, she has to keep taking chemotherapy, so this is her second session of chemotherapy, and she'll have 12 months from this chemotherapy.
I experienced incredible happiness by sharing this knowledge. I personally experienced tremendous feeling of affection to those who shared their life stories, how they got saved with these books, and I would do my best to do it again and again for many more years if it has such a love and positive effect on people I know and on the society as a whole. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
One of the book distributor came to our house, and we started just doing some kirtan, and then he gave us some books and a picture of Jai Nitai, and that's the day our journey started. Actually, that's how I feel, because once I read that book, which is Science of Self-Realization, everything was started to put into the order. Although I have come from the background of religious Hindu culture, but still it didn't make sense whatever I was doing it. But reading that book made all the difference. Whatever I was doing, it made a sense afterwards. And then since after reading that book, I started to chant.
I had been struggling with life up till then, getting very much frustrated with material endeavors and thinking there must be a higher thing in life to achieve. And yet, after hearing the devotee speak so clearly, we became naturally inclined to hear more about it. We found Srila Prabhupada's books in the house, obviously given to us by devotees while we've been out and reading. The message became very clear to me. We started going to Sangha, we started attending the local temple in Watford. We have very much a purpose in life and being part of something that's very beautiful, very wonderful, and very, very satisfying.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Janavara, Jaya Girivardhari, Yashoda Nandana, Raja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yashoda Nandana, Raja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Janavallabha, Jaya Girivardhari.
I'm taking a break. Reading the Bhagavad Gita. Just helped when we're on Sankirtan, just to give us a little bit of sense.
Sankirtan devotees keep in your boxes?
Books mainly. We have books and normally like drinks and things, leaflets and lollipops. It is what we keep in our book box.
So this is Mother Deity, and she was very kind she was kind enough to give me my first Bhagavad Gita on Oxford Street. I'll say honestly, depending on whatever you're looking for in life, whether it's deeper relationships, spiritual growth and understanding, a solution to the struggles and challenges of life, you know, a meaning, not just a meaning, the meaning, I'd say. You know, you'll find it all in Krishna consciousness. An understanding about how society should be created or structured so it works better for everyone, right? How to solve the ecological crisis, how to make sure that people are, you know, around the world have enough resources, are able to be fed properly and cared for properly. There's practical solutions in this tradition. The wonderful service that is done by the book distributors is unparalleled, and the results, you can't, it's hard to really recognize the magnitude of the result, because these books, they reach people, and it may not immediately cause, you know, have an external effect, but over time the effect is always there. There's not one person I know of who's not been affected by receiving one of Srila Prabhupada's books. There's not one person. Even if it's taken a decade before they read it, or someone else in their family reads it or sees it, it does have its impact. So I think personally it's an unparalleled service.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna